What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Shadowlands video. Hope you're all doing well. Grab your coffee. Let's get into this. Listen, first of all, if you saw the last video, you know that today's vault was particularly good. We did get a chess piece. It is a tier piece. We are very excited. So actually, I guess next week I could get within the creation catalyst opens, I could get a 3-piece. I could almost get to my 4-piece like really quickly. So anyway, we're very excited. All I actually wanted was the 2-piece, and it was a 278 chess piece. It's got haste on it. I'm pretty happy. So it's looking good. But today we're not talking about that. We are talking about Halondrus. I've killed heroic Halondrus, and we're gonna go look at a video of that. I'm going to show you the VOD. I'm going to show you what's different on heroic Halondrus versus normal. It's a very different fight, actually, and it's amazing. I love the heroic Halondrus fight. It's my favorite fight so far. It's just got a lot of really fun, cool mechanics. It's difficult. It's a good challenge, and the final phase in phase 3 is like this ultimate kind of burn phase, and you're just everything's all happening at the same time, and you just got to try and kill him through like the madness. So it's really, really fun, and we are going to get into that. I'll show you the build that I ran for the heroic Halondrus kill. It was Ellie Blast, not Ice Strike. It was this build right here. So we did take Ellie Blast, Hot Hand, Hailstorm, and then I swapped out the Tumbling Waves one for Chilled to the Core, because we're running Witch Doctor Wolf Bones right here. So this is where it's all about the dogs. It's single target. It's your best single target legendary, I think, in my opinion. So you take Witch Doctor Wolfbones. You're going to run this talent setup. You have Hailstorm buffing your Frost Shock. And then, of course, you're going to run Chilled to the Core to make sure that you're getting extra stacks of Maelstrom Weapon to reduce the cooldown on your dogs and also get you back to your spenders, because you want to be able to always have something to do on raid boss fights. Sometimes you can run out of Maelstrom weapon stacks because you're not generating a whole bunch from Crash Lightning. In Mythic Plus, Crash Lightning generates an enormous amount of Maelstrom weapon stacks because you have so many targets to hit, and it will hit each one of them, and every time it hits each one of them, it has a chance, like each person has a chance to give you a stack. But on raid bosses that are just pure single target like Halondrus, you need some extra help on generating stacks of Maelstrom weapons. So Chill to the Core does that for you. Very, very strong conduit. I would swap out Tumbling Waves for Chill to the Core. You're going to keep your Magma Fist because you're going to get those hot hand windows, and your Lava Lash is just going to slap. So Focus Lightning, Chill to the Core, Magma Fist. I am running Plague Divisor Marileth. You go Witch Doctor Wolf Bones, and then this is the talent setup. You want Ellie Blast, Hot Hand. Ellie Blast would go right here. That's the build you want to do, okay? That's the build setup that I ran for this dungeon, and for this boss fight. And let's jump into the VOD. Take a drink here. Let me get this all set up. Let's flip over here. Okay, so I always do this really quickly. Let's look at the boss fight itself. Just really quick. He's down here, and we were on heroic. So what's different on heroic? What you want to know is that there are the tank mechanic where it does the beam. They need to essentially hit specific areas with the beam now. The little pools that are on the outskirts of the room that will spawn those globes that move towards Halondrus, those little pools are now protected by like a shield, and tanks need to hit that pool that has the shield on it, or else you can't stop it from you can't stop the balls from reaching Halondrus. The balls are like protected with a little shell themselves. So the tanks need to make sure they hit those pools, and then you can start bouncing those little water balls backwards. So that's a big tank thing that needs to happen. That's the biggest thing, I think, in Phase 1 and Phase 2. Before you get to Phase 3, is that the tanks need to make sure that they're doing this correctly. Then there's a Planet Cracker beam, which you're going to see right at the beginning. It just circles around Halondrus the whole time. You just have to dodge it. Not really crucial until Phase 3. It gets really crucial in Phase 3. So that's it. Those are the big changes. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but it actually ends up becoming a lot later on in the fight. So let's jump over to the VOD and let's get into it. That's sort of the unfortunate. So right off the bat, you can see these Planet Cracker beams. This is what I was just talking about. This is the new mechanic. This circles around the boss at all times, and some of them have little circles. Some of them are kind of lit up with a circle. You can see right here, this little circle, this golden circle. So each one of these orbs could have one of those circles underneath it. You just have to dodge it. It's not a really big deal. Here's the tank mechanic. They're shooting the beam at one of those pools of water, and it has a shield around it. So they're purposefully aiming the beam. They just hit it right there. I'm going to back up one sec so you can see. It means that you have to be careful that you're never standing near the tank. So right over here, right here, you can see on the edge of the screen, there's a little like barrier looking thing. This right here, this little shell, they hit it with the beam and it breaks the shell. And that means that we can then access these orbs and knock them backwards. So that's that part there. That's just the whole phase 1 basically. There's the beams going out that the tanks have to do correctly. There are circles going around the boss at all times. Then there's a dispel you have to do. So when you do the dispel, see this little puddle right here, this little white kind of shining puddle? You'll get a debuff on you that the healers have to dispel, but you need to dispel it in front of one of those pools of water, so that when the orb, the little watery orb, starts moving towards Halondrus, it'll go into that circle that you put down. Like the circle's like right here, and it'll be going really, really fast. It'll hit the circle you've put down, and it'll start to slow down, and then it moves very, very slowly. So if you don't put these dispels in the right spot, you won't be slowing down any of the orbs, and then inevitably one of them will probably make it to Halondrus, and you'll end up wiping.
Talents are, they're almost always better.
So
in lots of cases, because
that's really important that you put the dispel. See how there's an orb right here trying to move through? You can see it right here. There's a little orb trying to move through. It's very, very slow. Once it gets out of this dispel pool, it'll start moving quicker. So it's moving slow, moving slow. Look at this orb right here. It's moving really slow. It's just about to leave the circle. Now it's left the circle. It's going to start moving quick again. Now we have to start bouncing it back. But you can bounce it back into the dispel puddle that you've put down, and it will go slow again. So
yeah, I'll just go play BM. I mean, you are playing BM, I know that, but
I'm talking to somebody in chat here.
It's funny.
So we're going to phase soon. Here comes that planet cracker. I have to just dodge it. You just dodge it. Later in the fight, it's going to make a big difference. You'll see.
We have less damage than we did last time.
There's the beam. The tanks are hitting the pools once again, and you're doing the same thing. You're bouncing orbs back, and you have to drop. So I got the crushing prism. This is the dispel from the healers, but we're moving the boss, so it doesn't matter anymore. So I just put the dispel right here. These are going to disappear in a second because he's moving.
They're doing well.
So then you have your transition. This is your regular sort of transition period. Nothing crazy happens here, like nothing new. You keep getting bounced back by these big circles, and Pharaoh Lunge is a really good ability to have. You will also get dispels in this section that you have to do properly, but and then you just don't want to hit other people with your missiles. Be very careful with that stuff. Then you get to P2, and you just repeat. It's the same thing. I would use your defensive. See, this is a good time to fleshcraft, actually, is when he's getting back into the ground. Look how much damage everybody takes here.
I just don't want to take any
boom,
damage
boom.
here.
I mean, also, during Reclaim is another good time to use fleshcraft, but I'm saving my Astral Shift for the Reclaim period.
Oh, we got a Lava Lash proc.
So this is the same. Nothing changes here. Except there are... Okay, I didn't actually realize this before. Let's go back and look at that. So right here... See these
really
planet
tight.
crackers that are coming around the
In a lot of
corner?
places.
So now there's 2 of them. There's one here. There's one here. Looks like there's 3 of them. So there's 1, 2, 3 planet crackers now. See those? 1, 2, 3 beams. In phase 1, there's only 1 of them. Now in phase 2, there's 3 of them that you have to dodge. In phase 3, the entire row is consumed. You're going to see it in a minute. So that does change from phase to phase. So I need to dodge these now, and there's more planet crackers to dodge, which I didn't actually realize till just now. In phase 3, it gets even worse. So that's the big change in phase 2, but otherwise the tanks have to do their thing. You need to push the orbs back in. If you get a dispel, you want to put it right near one of these puddles right here. This puddle of water right here, that spawns the orbs. You want to put your dispels there. Okay? That's about it.
We saved that one.
I think I got really close on an orb here. Let me
Doing a
watch.
great job.
This orb right here. Watch me. I think I'm going to go get it.
Back and forth. What a Chad.
Ugh!
We
That was
saved
so
one.
close.
Did you see that? That was insane.
So that was really close.
So
So then
close.
we're going to go to the next phase. Well, we did lose a tank here, but I think he gets up. We're fine. So you have to dodge this shatter thing. They do get the tank up, which is great. Then we get to P3, and we lust. Just stop right here. We get to P3 and we lust. That's pretty normal.
Ooh, that's early.
This guy thought it was early to lust, but I think it's
That's not
okay.
early. This is when you should do it. That guy's wrong.
I think you should do it now because there's no big mechanics going on right now. You want to be able to get your damage out. You don't want to lust when like everybody is doing all the mechanics at the same time, right?
It's not early at all.
So now look at the
Exactly.
planet crackers. It's the entire row now. 1, 2, 3. There's 5 of them on either side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now it's a problem. You're going to see this is really interesting here.
Orbs. Right now, you're not really dealing with the orbs.
So the entire zone is now covered and they're going around in a circle. You can't really get hit by those things. So here's the general strategy that I think most teams end up doing. Everybody in the team has to rotate around the boss. You just have to rotate around as the beams are carrying you. As you're rotating, you need to be knocking back orbs that are trying to get to the boss. That's how the final phase is supposed to go. It's really, really cool. I tried to cheese it by running into the middle. I wasn't too sure about it. I think you can run into the middle like I just did, and you don't actually take that much damage. So if you want to do it that way, you can. But then there's going to be some orbs that we're missing over here. There's an orb coming in over here. There's an orb coming in over here. There's an orb coming in here. And then there's the tank mechanic happening. There's a lot happening in this third phase. So I think it's actually just best for your whole team to rotate around in a circle with you and to everybody grab orbs as you're rotating around. Because we have to go back and try and get that orb. But now we have the earthquake things to worry about. It gets really complicated. There's the tank mechanic happening. We're still following in a circle. So I'm going to try and grab these orbs before I have to keep moving. I see the monk having a hard time over here. He is a tank, so he's got lots of health. But I'm just kind of like, shoot, should I run over there? Or should I run through the middle? Or do I just keep rotating around? I wasn't totally sure what to do. But this is how the final phase goes. It's just this over and over again. Now, I do make the decision to run through the middle because I see that there's 3 orbs over here. And I want to come help. So I'm trying to help him out. You really need to keep your eyes open. There's a paladin here, right here. This paladin. I think he like bubbles and starts running around. He does an absolute amazing job
Personals.
helping everybody get these orbs out of the way
Pretty
because
close to dead there.
these orbs will just keep coming in. Everybody on this team this was a pug, by the way. Everybody did such a good job just dealing with those. But you see, it doesn't stop. They just keep rotating around. You keep dealing with orbs. He keeps doing tank mechanics, and he keeps doing the earthquake. So there's a lot going on in Phase 3, but it makes this fight really fun. That's what makes these fights really, really fun. So I think that's the best way to do
I
it.
didn't realize this is how the ending in the fight was.
Just rotate around and grab orbs as you're rotating. That's basically what it is in your healers. It's really difficult for like casters and healers. Oh. Yeah.
I bounced that.
I had to get that orb.
I was in a really tough spot there.
Gonna hurt us though.
We got it anyway.
Gee.
Woo! We
So-
actually killed him. Holy cow, that's crazy.
So that's it, guys.
Oh, I thought we were
That's
gonna die
really
again
that's really
But
the
here's
new
the
part
end.
on heroic is this final phase here. This is really what it's all about. The first 2 phases are kind of similar. You do need to drop your debuffs off in the right spot, but this final phase here is huge. It's really, really huge. You need to figure out what you want to do. Do you want to rotate around in a circle? You need to split your raid in half, basically. Half you guys are rotating on one side, half you guys are on the other side, and you just go around so that you can collect those orbs. Because if one of those reaches the boss, it's over, right? It's just over. So I really love this fight. I really love the P3 on this fight. It's really fun. Absolutely loved this fight. So let me just recap it really, really quick. Phase 1, the tanks have to take their beam and they have to hit one of the protected sort of water circles. If you get a debuff on you, let me figure out what it's called here. Here it is, Crushing Prism. If you get Crushing Prism on you, you have to go drop that off and get dispelled in front of one of the water pools so that when the orb travels through, it slows it down. That's going to save you. You have to do that, okay? That's basically Phase 1. And in Phase 1 as well, there's those planet crackers that are moving around in a circle, but there's only one that has a circle. Phase 2, you do the same thing. Tanks have to hit the protected circles with their beams, you need to drop your Dispel in front of the water puddles, and then now there's 3 Planet Cracker beams traveling around the boss, so you have to dodge those Planet Cracker beams, okay? All the while you're bouncing orbs back like you normally do, that kind of jazz. Once you get to phase 3, sorry guys, that was really loud. Once you get to phase 3, there are Planet Cracker beams everywhere. There's 5 of them in a line, and they take up the whole area. You kind of need to split your raid into 2 groups, and then each pack has to rotate around the boss. That's how the ending is done, and all the while, you are knocking back orbs that are coming in. There's no more debuffs to deal with, so all the orbs are just coming in really quickly. You can't slow them down with the Dispel puddle anymore. That doesn't happen anymore. It's just rotate around, dodge, like put your earthquake circles away from other people and hit the orbs back while you're rotating around dealing damage. Really, really fun phase 3 on this fight. I love it, and it's actually kind of simple once you figure it out. Once you've done it a few times, it actually is fairly simple, and it makes a lot more sense. But that's Halondrus, guys. That's the boss fight right there. And as Enhancement Shaman, I'll just run over my build really quickly. Once again, it was Witch Doctor Wolfbones. We did run Ellie Blast Hot Hand Hailstorm. That's the combo that we were running. And then we did run Chilled to the Core Magma Fist Focus Lighting. Chilled to the Core is the really important one there because you need to generate stacks of Maelstrom Weapon, and it also helps you to do it from range. It's very versatile, yada yada. There's a lot of good things going on there. So really, really enjoyed this fight a lot. It's my favorite fight in the raid so far. By a mile. I really love the Halondrus fight. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to drop a like, I really appreciate it down below. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, make sure you get down there and hit that button. What are you doing with your life? Until the next one, guys, we'll see you.